Hello students, in this session I am going to cover relationships used along with UML components, its comparative analysis, then certain common mechanisms which we can include on different diagrams, like that common mechanisms are note, stereotype, tagged value and constraints, and some more important concepts like class template, link attributes, ordering, association classes and qualified association. Here I am discussing three types of relationship and its comparison. That relationships are association, aggregation and composition. First of all, what is relationship? Relationship is nothing but connection among certain UML components. So three major types of relationships here I am discussing. First one, association. Association can be exist between two or more classes in unified modeling language. Means that connection might be present among certain n number of classes. There can be one-to-one association, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many association between existing classes. One-to-one association means one class is related with another class. One-to-many association means one class might be relate with n number of different classes. Same way for many-to-one and many-to-many association. Objects are linked with each other through association line. In an association relationship, one or more objects can be associated with each other. In association relationship, after deleting one element, there may be effect on another associated element or might not affect on another associated element. For example, we have one class A, and class A is related with class B and class C. If we delete class A, so it might affect on class B and C or might not also affect on class B and class C. So there can be reflection or there cannot be reflection with the associated component. Then second type of relationship is aggregation. Aggregation is a whole part principle. Aggregation is a part of an association relationship. Means it is a subtype of a association relationship. Aggregation is having a graphical symbol as a empty diamond symbol. Aggregation is considered as a weak type of association. As we know, aggregation supports whole part principle. Whole class, we can say a measure class, and its subpart is a derived class or another related class. So example we can consider here, the whole class we say as a pond, P-O-N-D, pond class, and it is aggregate with a new derived class, that is a duck. So in pond there may be duck present or duck class may not be present. Okay, so it is a weak type of relationship. Why it is weak type of relationship? Because subpart might be present or might not be present. Linked objects are not depend upon other element or other object of the class. Means both the classes are independent classes and they are connected with aggregation line. In an aggregation relationship, objects that are associated with each other can remain in the scope of the system without each other. Means they are not directly having a relationship between that respective object. They are within the system and there is no reflection about a corresponding elements. In aggregation, deleting one element does not affect another associated element. For example, we delete the object of pond class, it might not affect on the object of the duck class because duck is its part or subpart of that respective class. So deletion does not reflect on its subpart or subclass. This is about aggregation relationship. Then next is composition. Composition, The composition is a part of an association relationship, means it is a one part of a association relationship. The composition is considered as a strong type of association. Now why it is strong type of association? Again, it supports a whole part principle, and the sub part must be present for that whole class. The best example here we can consider as the whole class is a car, 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 and its subclass is say as engine, and it is get connect with a composition symbol. Composition, its graphical notation is field diamond symbol. Every car must have engine. Without engine, car is not go in a working position. Okay, so if engine is not present, car is obviously not created. Okay, so this is such a type of relationship is say as a strong type of association. So composition is a strong type of association. Again I repeat, if car class is present, then obviously engine class must be present, means without engine car is not formed. So objects are highly depend on each other. If we delete engine, it will affect on car, or if we delete a car's object, it will obviously affect on engine class. So they are highly connected with each other. In a composition relationship, objects that are associated with each other cannot remain within the scope of the system with each other. In composition, deleting one element affect on another associated element, means they are having strong relationship. If there is any deletion happen with any respective class, it will obviously affect on another associated class. So such a type of relationship is say as a composition relationship. So here we discuss a comparison between association, aggregation and composition. The graphical symbol for association, straight line. Here for aggregation, empty diamond symbol, and for composition, filled diamond symbol. Like this we can apply a notation on UML. Here we discuss different types of relationships on previous slide. So a relationship is a connection between certain UML things or components. Association, dependency, generalization, realization are various relationships provided by UML language. Apart from standard relationships, composition and aggregations are used in a UML as per the requirement. Aggregations and compositions are both the types of association relationship in UML. The composition is a two-way relationship which is also called as a binary relationship. It involves two classes. That's why it is a binary relationship. Composition is a binary relationship. Now apart from this, there are some more important terminologies or common mechanisms which we can include on UML. UML is an open-ended language. It is possible to extend the capabilities of UML in a controlled manner which will suit the requirement of any software system. Common mechanisms is a way to give more detailed understanding about the UML models. It is having a extensible mechanisms which will make the diagram more stronger. UML made it easy with having 4 common mechanisms that are regularly applied throughout the language. That is specification, adornment, common divisions and extensible mechanism. Now note is also one of the important common mechanism which we can include on a diagram. Nodes are give extraneous information. We can create new properties on a UML model. New semantics are generated for that model. So stereotypes, tagged values, constraints are used to add new building blocks to UML to create a new properties and specify new semantics for any unified model. Now, first important concept is stereotype. Stereotype is an extension of basic building blocks which is similar to one exist but more specific to our problem. Stereotype defines how an existing meta class may be extended and enables use of platform or domain specific terminology or notations in place of or in addition to the ones used for the extended meta class. Means extraneous information can be shown by stereotype. Stereotype allows designer to extend the vocabulary of UML in order to create new model elements derived from existing ones, and it has specific properties that are suitable for a particular problem domain. It is specialized usage. As per the requirement, we can include stereotype on a diagram. Stereotype is represented as a name enclosed by guillemot, that is this less than sign and greater than sign, and in between that we can give a stereotype name. Now here are the examples for stereotype. UML has provided set of stereotypes to model any software system. Some of the stereotype I am discussing here. First one is auxiliary. Auxiliary stereotype are included on a class. As we know the graphical notation for class, rectangular box. So along with class name we can write a auxiliary as a stereotype. So this auxiliary stereotype is what? It shows the important class which control all the mechanisms of its supported class. Then built component. Component we can say collection of different UML component, and to show a component or along with component we can apply a stereotype as a built component. Then create. Create is one of the important stereotype. In a class notation we have three compartments, that is first one class name, second compartment set of attributes, and third compartment set of operations. So in operations, if we are declaring any operation as a constructor, for constructor we can include stereotype as a create. For destructor, to destroy the object, we can apply a stereotype as a destroy. Like this, n number of different stereotypes we can apply as per the necessity of that model. Now one more important common mechanisms which we can include on model, that is tagged value. Tagged value is one of the extensible mechanism which will permit us to write arbitrary information which is attached with the model. Tagged value is a keyword which is having value pair that may be attached to any kind of model element. Means along with any UML component you can use this key value pair or keyword and value pair. Tagged value specification is generated in UML 1.x and has the form as name is equal to value. See an example here. This is one of the subsystem, and release version for this subsystem or recent version for this subsystem is version is equal to 2.5. So tagged name is version and its fixed value is 2.5. One more example. This is a symbol for node. This node is nothing but a server actually, and we want to show the speed of this server. So it is shown in a key value pair. So speed is equal to 12.5. Speed is a tagged and its value is assigned as a 12.5. Like this, extraneous information can be shown by tagged value. Now next important common mechanism, constraint. Constraint means condition. So constraint means any type of rule or condition that is included on a model. Add new rules or modify existing ones, that is possible with the constraints. Constraints represents certain restrictions which are applied on that element. Graphically, constraint is represented by curly braces. Example, here stack class is shown And for this stack class, size is one of the attribute, size, and its data type is given as an integer. Now for size attribute, we are applying a constraint in curly braces that stack size should be greater than or equal to 0. Size of the stack should be greater than 0. This condition is mandatory and that is shown by this curly braces as a constraint. Like this, different constraints can be shown on a UML. One more example for showing the constraint. Here the classes are movie format, movie type, and in curly braces here the constraints are shown. For movie class, this is a generalization symbol. Derived classes are DVD movie, horror movie, action movie. So for DVD movie, its constraint is given as an incomplete or a disjoint. These constraints are applied here. And for horror movie, constraint is given as a complete and overlapping. Same way for action movie, the constraint is given as a complete and overlapping. Like this, in curly braces, we can mention the respective constraint of that component. Other than this common mechanism, some more concepts are given here. The first important concept is class template. As we know, template supports a generic programming. Now here, what is class template? In UML models, templates are model elements without unbound formal parameters that you can use to define the families of respective classifiers or packages or operations. A template is a parameterized model element that describes or identifies the pattern for a group of model elements of a particular type. Because they represent types of elements, you cannot use templates directly in your model. You have to write a template variable. Instead, you must first instantiate the template by binding its parameter to actual values. The binding between a template and a model element generates a new model element based on the template. You can then use the bound element to model a part of a system. Now see here example. Template created here is visit. The major classes involved here doctor and a patient. Doctor is a role of this class and its template parameter is DT, and its doctor is associated with the patient class. So patient is a role of the class and its class template parameter is PT for patient class, and this is a association line between a doctor class and a patient class. Its template parameters are DT for doctor and PT for patient, and visit is a template name for this particular portion. So DT and PT are shown as a template parameter for this template name. So these are the formal parameters for this template visit. Now, one of the important concept, linked attributes. A link attribute is a property of the links in an association. Link means connection, or association is nothing but a link or a relationship between different UML components. So this link attribute, it is a property of the objects in a class similar to the attribute. One or more link attributes may appear in the second region of the box. Now see here example, file is one class and user is another class related to the file. Files are accessed by different users, but users are having permissions to access that file or not. That is checked by this particular box or a class, and it is having one of the specialized attribute. That attribute is a link attribute, and here that link attribute is having the name as access permission, means whether that user is having access permission to access that particular file. So that is checked by this link attribute. Again I repeat, File is important, one of the class, and user is another class, and their association is shown by accessible by, means file is accessible by user, but that user should have access permission to access that particular file. So in this example, access permission is a link attribute and it is connected or it is joined to the association line here. Okay, this is link attribute. The next concept, ordering. Ordering is a special kind of facility available in object modeling and design techniques. Sometimes objects are externally ordered. Such ordering are denoted by writing the ordered on the many end of the association. Means there is a different mapping cardinality. So at many side you can show a ordered as a keyword. Ordered means the objects are ordered in the collection of associated elements. This means that there is a mapping between a positive integer to the element in the collection. Now see here example, window and screen. These are two classes associated with each other. Now how it should be read? On one screen, multiple windows are open. So they are in a specific order. When the user is opening certain applications, so what is the sequence for opening that application? That windows are open on the desktop with a certain order. So that screen is visible to the user in a specific order. So here one screen has many windows as a open or as a visible. So on many end we are adding a special attribute or a special component that is ordered, and it is represented in a curly braces. So on many side we have to add this particular component as ordered. One more example for ordering, online purchase done by customer. So customer purchases many products. Many times different products are purchased by customer. So there is a specific ordering for the purchase. For example, first time customer has purchased or add the element as a laptop. Then second time customer purchases stationery product. Like this, n number of products are purchased by customer. So they are having particular sequence or ordered. So on many side we are adding the specialized component that is ordered. Association classes means specialized classes are introduced on an association line. Association classes are used to identify information about an association. Means extraneous information about that association is included on association class. It has its own name, set of attributes, operations, very similar to your regular or ordinary class. However, it is described by additional attributes which does not belong to the objects involved in that association. For example, an enrollment class is added to hold the attribute year between the student class and a course class, but it does not belong to either a student class or a course class. Again I repeat, one of the class is student and one of the class is course, and here associated class or association class is enrollment. Enrollment is association class with a specialized attribute as a year, and this year attribute is not present in a student or a course class. So this association class is having very similar notation, same as your ordinary or a regular class. So in this session I have covered three major relationships, its comparative analysis, certain extensible mechanisms which we can include on UML, that are stereotype, tagged value and constraints. Then some important other terminologies used in UML, that are class templates, link attributes and ordering, and one more aspect we have discussed, that is association classes. So I hope you understood these basics. Thank you. Have a nice day.